Good morning, everybody. My name is Matt Hames, and yes, I am wearing a VR headset. So this is the MetaQuest 3, and it has really, really good pass-through. So you can see the cameras right here. I can see what's happening, right? Like I can see what's happening. There's like a dashboard over here. There's I can put something else over here. I can put like a window behind me. And if I decide to kind of walk around my office, I'm not going to bump into everything because it's in color. It's not grainy. You can tell that you're looking through this at a camera. So you can tell that this is definitely a camera. But when I hold on to these, when I hold on to the controllers, they disappear and it's just my hands that are there, which is interesting, I suppose. The key to this whole thing, so I'm going to take it off now. This was just for effect. The key to this whole thing is that the Apple Vision Pro is out and people are ordering it, and this is what it possibly is going to change. So what it may or may not change is the ability to just have multiple screens. I currently have a screen right here. So this is the camera I'm looking at. I have a MacBook Pro right there. It's sitting, it's elevated a little bit so that I'm closer to eye contact. And then right here, I have a 32-inch monitor that sits on my desk, and I use that predominantly. What the Apple Vision Pro and the MetaQuest 3 are trying to accomplish is the ability to have multiple screens, as many screens as you possibly want. So when I do presentations to schools, I'm often staring into this camera. If I have a PowerPoint presentation, the PowerPoint presentation is big and up here. The next slide is right here. But on Zoom, it's really hard to manage the Zoom with two screens. I've thought about getting a third screen. That seems excessive, honestly. But the reality is that the Apple Vision Pro, and to a certain extent, the MetaQuest 3, which is, working on it, can offer the ability to have multiple screens all over the place. So it'll be a little tougher to look into the camera. When I had my MetaQuest 3 on, you couldn't tell if I was looking into the camera because all you saw was the goofy headset, the ski goggles. But when you have the MetaQuest 3 on, you're going to be able to see people's eyes. The screen is going to be able to see your eyes. It's going to be a different experience. So you're hearing all about right now how YouTube and Netflix are not going to be in the Apple Vision Pro, and that is not the future of it. Trust me. I have sat and watched a movie inside of this, and I got it inside of Netflix because Netflix is in the MetaQuest 3, and it is cool. I'm not going to lie to you. It's pretend you're sitting in a theater in the middle seat, close to the front. The screen is massive in front of you. And as you can see, I'm somewhat of an older person, so I can't really see up close very well. But even though like my eyes are this far away from this screen, somehow I can see in perfect detail the entire movie. So watching like a big budget movie inside of one of these is like watching a movie in the theater, with the exception that it's very isolating. So you're not watching the movie with somebody sitting beside you. You're watching it by yourself in an empty theater. Sitting in an empty theater is something that feels uncomfortable even when you do it in VR. But again, it's pretty awesome. But that's not the future. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the ability to make massive screens. Like at 3, we make virtual VR spaces, immersive centers, and we can put an image of the school and make it like 60 feet high. We can make it 150 feet high. Like we can make it as big as we absolutely want to make it. And when you have a headset on and you walk up to this image, you are going like this and you're looking all around the image because it is massive. So space and spatial is gone. Like in a physical workspace, I have a laptop and a big screen and a possible third screen over here, but they're still only going to be like my monitor is still only going to be 32 inches no matter what. Inside of spatial computing, inside of wearing a headset, it can be as big as you want it to be. It really can be massive. There's no end to the space in a VR space. There's no boundary. It's forever. Like you can just keep going inside of our immersive centers. You can go up, down. You can go up, down. It's a never ending space. There is not an end to it. And that's the interesting part about this. Apple is going to come out and start talking about spatial computing. That is an important word. If that lands, if spatial computing lands, then the ability to have multiple screens is going to be awesome. This week is our 2024 kickoff at 3Enrollment Marketing, and a bunch of people are doing presentations using screens like this. So when you do a presentation on PowerPoint and you have two screens, PowerPoint takes over one, and then the presenter screen takes over the second one, and it's hard to then have like all the people who are on camera in a spot. With the Apple Vision Pro in spatial computing, you can have multiple screens open at once all over the place. You can have a screen behind you. You can have a screen above you. You can have a screen almost anywhere. And when presenting with a headset on, the cameras can pick up your eyes. So as long as you look forward, you'll be looking in the camera. I'm staring at a little green dot right now so that I'm looking in the camera. With the MetaQuest or an Apple Vision Pro, theoretically, the camera will just be on my eyes, and no matter where I look, that's where I'll be looking. So if I go like this, I'll still be looking into the camera. And I think that is where our future is going. I think that is the important thing to understand. It's not about the metaverse, whatever. Like, that was never a thing. What this is about is tech on your head. That's what this is about. This is about a computer as a headset. Now, can you wear it for 8 hours a day? No. It weighs a lot. This one does. Anyway, I don't know what the Apple Vision Pro weighs, but I've heard people who've worn it talk about how after about a half an hour or 45 minutes, you know you're wearing something. This is heavy ski goggles, like really heavy ski goggles. And we're not at the end, though. We're not at the end of the tech. We're just at the very beginning. These are going to get smaller. These are going to get more powerful. These are going to get more interesting. This year is going to be a very, very interesting year for how we look at and talk about our workstations. If Apple gets their way, and don't rule out Apple as a company that can land a branding. If Apple gets their way, we will be talking about spatial computing. And honestly, I hate to say this because it sounds like a buzzword, but the next thing to think about is how to use marketing within spatial computing to tell the stories in higher education. I think it's going to be a really, really interesting and fascinating year, and I can't wait for it. So anyway, what do you think? What do you think about headsets, VR headsets, whether they're VR headsets or AR glasses? Where do you think it's all going? Let me know in comments. Let's talk about this. I'm really interested in your perspective on spatial computing. Anyway, hope you have a great day, and thanks for joining me for this. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.